Welcome back to Book Talk with Kaye, your favorite place to chat all things book and authors. Today I'm with debut author DeAnna Kaye Fields. When she's not spending time with her beloved family or leaning into her faith, she's writing incredible stories. Welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you on.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about Golden Hour?
All right. So Golden Hour, it's the debut novel in the Shepherd's Grove series, and they're all going to be interconnected standalones. This one follows Bellamy, who she has abandonment issues. Her parents died. Some men have left her, and her friends are all grown up, having families, and so she just feels like no one's going to stay for her. In enters Edison, and he was basically raised by his sister, and he's absolutely devoted to her family. And he has to prove to Bellamy that he's here to stay. They meet at a blind date photo shoot. So if you don't know what that is, it's where photographers will have take applications, and then they'll pair up people based upon whatever whimsy they come up with. And then the two people will do couple-y photos even though they've just met. And so that's how they meet.
That's so fun. I see those on TikTok and Facebook all the time.
Yes.
So I love that idea. You always wonder what happens after the shoot.
Yes. So I was just scrolling through TikTok one day, and I love those too. And I was just scrolling and watching them. And I was like, that would make a really cute book. And it did, because I wrote it.
Well, I love your cover. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Did you do that yourself, or?
No, I definitely had that commissioned. My artist has done all of them so far. She does a phenomenal job.
Yeah, they're very cohesive and beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really pleased with them.
Is she taking commissions right now? If you want
as far as she's mostly on Instagram right now. She hasn't created her own TikTok yet, even though I tell her to. But she's also on Facebook. But it's Elora Covers, ELORA, and she listens to everything that I say and creates these amazing photos or covers, and anything that needs to be changed, she'll do it. She's so easy. She's affordable. She's in the Philippines, but so sometimes there's a little bit of time delay, but she's always really quick. So if I don't get it right now, I'll get it within 12 hours, which is the time difference. So it's really quick about that. So there's no issue with language or anything like that. I just wish she was closer, because then I could go visit her.
Yeah.
But she was a recommendation from another indie author who is actually Australian. And so she recommended her, and I went. That's how I got Elora's information.
Love that. So, looking at your website, it's so professional and it looks so good. For those that don't have her website, it's dkfwrites.com. Mm-hmm. And you get to see the covers of the next two books.
Yes.
Is it going to be seasonal based? Like Golden Hours seems more fall-like.
They not really. The second one, Golden Hour kind of has a whole year's worth of stuff in it, but it is mostly fall and winter. And that's just how it ended up being. The second one has July 4th in it, but it's not based on July 4th. The third one doesn't even have a holiday that's celebrated, I don't think. So not really. Just happened to be that way with Golden Hour.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the woman behind the books? What do you do in your spare time? What do you like to do?
Yeah. So, I'm still working full time. So I have that 8:30 to 5 job. I work in ophthalmology, which is how Bellamika has her job because I know that pretty well. I've been in that over 20 years. And so, I do that. My spare time is writing or marketing now. I didn't realize I was going to have to become my own marketer, but so I'm learning Canva, getting better, I think. And then I have 3 grown daughters. My youngest one is still living with me. So spending time with them and my husband and my dogs. We have church. My husband and I, Paul, we like to go dilly-dallying on Saturdays. So we'll go to the local bookstores and some peddlers malls and go out to dinner. Just kind of spend time because, we both work full time and sometimes there's stuff going on throughout the week. So we just like to take Saturdays for just us usually.
Love that. We kind of do the same thing.
Yeah. He kind of goes wherever I tell him I want to go, which is nice.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Yes. I'm going to keep him, I think.
So I know that you're a Christian and I am too.
Mm-hmm.
How big of a role does being a Christian play in your writing style?
A very big one. Not all of the stories are going to be, Christian based, but I don't want any, there's not really any swearing. They're all going to be closed door, because I wanted something that I could take to church and that I could have in the church library and that my mom and my dad could take to church. My first book is dedicated to my dad. That would feel really awkward if there was scenes in it that I wouldn't want him to read on a book dedicated to him. So it plays a big role. Like I said, not all the books are hugely, faith-based, but they're all gonna be safe for anyone who doesn't want any of that heavy, spicy elements.
I love that. I'm not going to say I'm not a smut girly because, I definitely have my moments with the smut
I
reading.
didn't say I didn't read it. I just said I didn't want to read it.
Yeah, but it's a nice breath of fresh air to have that other option because it seems like everybody's on a romantasy and smut-based kick or dark romantasy or fantasy and, I still like my little rom-coms and
Yes, I like to say that my books are good palate cleansers. I know people, like you said, get into the dark romance or the heavy stuff, and sometimes they need something to lift them out of it, and my books are perfect for that. They're novellas, they're short, quick, sweet reads, perfect for getting anyone out of their slump or the palate cleanser, something you want to take to the beach for the day, whatever. My books are great for that.
yeah, I can't wait till it releases so I can have a hard copy. Speaking of releases,
Yeah.
her book is releasing on July 1st.
Yes.
And she will be on TikTok Live at 8 p.m. on Faded Pages TikTok.
Yes.
Do you want to tell the people about that?
Yeah, so it goes live on Wednesday, July 1st, so that's 2 days from now, and I'm real excited about that. And then Mary with Faded Pages, she's amazing with the indie community, and she's actually hosting my live on her TikTok, and games and giveaways, all the stuff that Mary does. So I'm really excited about doing that. I do only get an hour. She had something come up, which it happens. It's fine. That's not a problem. But so if you're gonna come, which you absolutely should, you come there at 8 to make sure you get in on everything.
Yeah, we want all the goodies, guys.
Yeah.
So, funny enough, we met at a book event.
Yes.
Indie LitCon. And do you plan on going to it next year as an author? Like, to have your own books?
Girl, I'm going everywhere. I've got Rose LitCon just confirmed me, so I'm doing that in October.
Oh, no.
Yes, and then I am definitely doing Indie LitCon. That's been confirmed. I've got some signings. I've got a book signing every weekend in July here locally in Louisville or Shepherdsville. And then I have in October before Rose LitCon, I have an event in South Dakota for it's like the Clean Books huge event or something. And I was like, those are the people who are definitely going to love my book. And then Lexington in September, I'm sorry, I forgot that one. I have a Lexington LitCon, so that's a big book event. And November, I have London, Kentucky is doing an event called Ink in the Hills. So I'm doing that. Like, my husband he just says, okay, at this point. I'm like, whatever.
Love that. You're not too far from West Virginia. One of our local bookstores has a bed and breakfast, that is connected to their bookstore, and they, welcome indie authors all the time. If you would be interested in reaching out to them, I know they would definitely love. I'll have to get you their information.
Yes, please, definitely.
And I'm pretty sure in February 2027 we're gonna have a book ball. It hasn't been announced yet, so don't hold me to that. But I'm 90% sure it's happening.
Well, that sounds interesting.
In Huntington, West Virginia.
All right.
It's really fun because they have the ball, but then they have all sorts of vendors where they welcome authors, and it's a lot of fun.
That sounds fun.
So, what's been one of the hardest things you've found while writing a book, or the publishing part?
Yeah, it's definitely the publishing part or the market. I had some problems with KDP. They annoyed me at first, but we got through that, and now we're back to being friends for now. So that was kind of frustrating. But then the marketing, again, I had to learn Canva and all that, and I just never imagined I'd have to do all that. But it's been kind of fun creating my own little things and deciding if I like this or I like that or whatever. I get to make my own decisions, so that's been fun. Challenging but fun.
Do you have ARC readers to help spread the word?
I do have some, yes. JB Juke, he's been pretty amazing. He's made a couple of posts about Golden Hour on his TikTok. And then I have a few other ones who have read it and loved it and reviewed it. I've had 18 reviews right now, and I'm on Goodreads, and I'm at 4.5 something or other, which is pretty incredible for me. I'm loving that. But I did just post that my ARC is up will be up for my second book. It's due to go out mid-July. So that form just went up Sunday, I think it was. So it can be found on all of my socials or my website that you already gave and everything. So I am taking ARC readers for that. And you don't have to have read book 1 to ARC book 2.
But you guys should definitely read book 1 because...
Well, obviously. It's pretty You definitely should, but you don't have to.
When do you have a release date for book 2 yet?
Yeah, the plan is September 1st.
Oh, wow. You're moving right along.
Yeah, well, they're little novellas, so I'm in the middle of editing book 3, and then I'll send it out to my proofreader, editor on in August because I want it to go out November 1st. So I'm like, I wanted to try and do every 2 months. So I got to keep chugging along.
That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. I'm pretty pleased. The third book, my beta readers have loved it, and so that's good. I'm excited about it. It's a baseball story.
Perfect timing with the College World Series just happening.
Yes. Well, it's not totally in the baseball world, but he is a baseball player. I created a whole team in Louisville because we don't have one, so I created a whole MLB team here in Louisville. My husband has a hat, the logo, created the logo and everything.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm a bit ridiculous, but hey, like I said, I was playing around in Canvas. So.
Canva is fun. Yeah.
It is.
You could, that's a full-time job in itself.
It is. It is.
What, did you have to do any research for these books?
Well, yeah, a little bit for the first one because he's a mechanic and she has a problem with her car. And I know zero about cars, so I had to do a little bit of research there, just Google. And then the second one, so she has depression, and so I had to do a little bit of research on, some sensitivity research for that one. And then the third one is, like I said, it's a baseball one. So a little bit of research there because I know, of course, what baseball is and I enjoy the games and stuff, but there's nuances and all that I had to research. I did a lot of that with my husband because he knows all of it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So I know you're an indie author right now. Is there plans to go traditionally published, or are you pretty happy being?
So far I'm pretty happy. I wouldn't be opposed if, a big publishing company was like, hey, we want to publish your book. I would really heavily consider it. It would just depend on the offer and everything, of course. But right now I'm pretty happy with it. I like having the control of my story and my marketing and all of that. Listen, if there's a traditional publisher out there who let me have control, and they deal with KDP and Ingram and all that stuff, I'm down.
Yeah. It can be a lot sometimes, I imagine.
Oh my goodness. I've already had to burn an ISBN and everything. It's fine. It's okay.
But now you know for your next ones.
Exactly, yes.
Audio books. Any work in progress on that?
Not yet. This book's not even come out yet. I've been thinking about it. I just haven't thought about it too hard just yet. I think I might get the whole series. I plan on 5. I think I want to get the whole series written and published and see if there's even like a desire for the people who read it to get it in audio before I try any of that.
That makes sense. I do know there is a big market for audiobooks. A lot of TikTok is narrators.
Yes, and I've gotten some connections with some of them, but I just haven't quite pulled the plug yet. It takes a lot of capital that I don't exactly have right now.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, sometimes you can get lucky enough to find a royalty share.
Sure. It's not off the table.
If your book was made into a film, who would be your dream cast for your two main characters?
I knew you would say that. I think maybe Tom Holland for Edison. By the way, Edison's nickname is Eddie, I just did one D because I didn't want to spell it with two Ds. People think it's Edie. It's not. It's Eddie for Edison. I just had to throw that out there. As far as Bellamy goes, I don't know. I don't know. Let's have the people who are listening to this give me suggestions after they read it.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So I take it Golden Hour was like from the photo shoot, was a Golden Hour photo shoot?
Yes. Yeah, and then because it's golden hour, right? So it's color themed, and orange is my favorite color. So of course there's a lot of orange in that. I just decided to for this series to have everything, color themed. That's why you've got Grass is Greener and Signed in Red. And I'm not ready to reveal book 4 and book 5's title, but they're pretty much sealed.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. I revealed their color on my TikTok the other day because I made a Gen Z millennial versus Gen Z post and their color theme. So I will tell you the 4th book's color is blue and the 5th book's color is pink.
Ooh. That's different.
Yeah, I had to stick with the color theme. There's so many colors out there, and colors are so pretty.
So you have a launch party in person at Maine Book Hook in Shepherdsville.
Yes, they are my girls. That's Trista and Emily. They're amazing. They have a whole section of indie authors and all that. So when I decided to write this, they said, we'll definitely do the launch party. So I'm doing that on Friday at 1 is my live in-person launch party. There, of course, I'll be signing books and all that stuff. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I would think it's like extra special to have it close to home.
It is. It really is. I'm in Bullitt County. They're in Bullitt County, so it's right there. And we visit them nearly every week. Actually, when we walk in, they treat my husband like Norm, and they'll say Paul every time he walks in. And there's been a couple of times when they're busy with customers, and they don't say it, and he walks out and walks back in, and then they correct themselves. It's hilarious.
Sweet.
Yeah. They're my girls.
And it's just nice to have that local support too.
Absolutely. Yeah. They support indie authors, and then, the indie author community itself has been nothing but supportive. I wasn't prepared for it when I ventured out into all this, but it's really true that we just want everyone to succeed. We're not competitors or anything like that. It's been out of this world how supportive and helpful everyone has been, no matter what their genre is, whether they would read my book or not, or I would read theirs or not. It's the outpouring of support has really blown me away.
Love that. I think like half of the battle of getting started into writing or anything really is having that fear of what those around you are going to think.
Yes, for sure.
How it's going to affect your family and stuff. How do you approach writing dialogue? And do you have any tips for crafting an authentic conversation?
I just try and write my dialogue how I would talk or how I envision the characters would talk. And I try to make my dialogue tags more, I mean, I do say he said, she said, but I definitely try and limit that, and I just add in action tags with it. You know, I'll do that, he said, taking out the garbage or whatever. You just have to make it natural, and if you have to, then speak it out loud while you're writing it, and if it doesn't feel natural, then maybe rewrite it so that it does.
I love that. My friend and I are working on a books, and
Ooh.
if we get stuck, we'll like have the conversation between each other and see how the other one would respond.
Definitely. I definitely especially with the photo shoots, I wanted them, you know, sitting a certain way. And I definitely had to use my husband as a model and be like, okay, you do this, I'm going to do this, and let's see how it would work. Or, you know, would he use his right hand for this or whatever? So I definitely think, having that dialogue back and forth works, or using, other people around you as models to make sure that whatever physical thing you're describing actually can happen.
Yeah. What did you have a scene that was super challenging to write?
The I don't want to give it away, but a scene near the end, not the very end, but 3/4 of the way was kind of hard. The pinnacle, I think, was kind of hard. Again, that's a part of with the dialogue. I want to make sure that the dialogue worked and matched the characters, and the emotion was conveyed and all of that. It definitely took me a little bit to get through it and make sure that it was what I wanted in the end.
How do you get over those scenes? Or work through those scenes, I guess?
Yeah, so sometimes I step away for a day or two. Sometimes I play them out with my husband, or my daughter if she's here. Sometimes I write it and then I reread it maybe out loud or whatever to make sure that it's what I want. And then there's been times that I've just written a scene and just completely deleted it because it was not at all where I wanted to go. Everyone has their own method, and I think mine is just, listen, I put myself on a deadline with how I want these published. And I already have my proofreader booked for all of those. So I was like, you got to get through it because you have to do this. So I think that's really helped, because otherwise, I think it's been one of the reasons why I probably haven't published before I turned 45 was just because I didn't have anything pushing me to do so. And I would get to parts where I was like, I don't even know what to do next. And I would just give up. But now I can't do that because I have readers and I have a proofreader booked and everything. So I can't really just give up.
Yeah. Do you have a PA or a manager?
Nope, just me.
Who are some authors that you draw inspiration from?
So my favorite books growing up were Gone with the Wind, and I always wanted to write an epic like that. Didn't quite get an epic, but I did love that. So Margaret Mitchell. The Outsiders, listen, Pony Boy, after the church, he can't eat bologna anymore. And I read that, in middle school when we all had to, but it resonated so deeply with me, that story, that to this day, and it's been 30 something years, I can't eat bologna. And it would be amazing if someone came up to me, like, listen, your character can't do this and now I can't because it was so deep with me or whatever.
Yeah. Do you have a playlist while you write?
No, my Spotify has over 700 songs that range from gospel to some rap, and I just let it play on random, and I just like to listen to music, so I don't even care what song's on most of the time. I just let it play. I know some people create these playlists and stuff. It's not that deep for me. I just like to listen to the music. I can't write in silence, so I gotta have something on.
Yeah, just that background noise.
Yes, exactly.
Did you ever consider writing under a fake name?
No, I just, because of what I'm writing, it's the closed door, sweet little romances. I never considered a fake name or anything, or a pen name or anything like that. I really like seeing my name in, because it's that DE capital ANNA, and that's deeply personal to me. So I really like seeing it on my books. It just kind of touches a part of my soul.
Yeah, I would definitely be proud. I want to, even if it was something that might not be for everybody, I would still
Absolutely.
want it. Do you have author friends that you lean on, help you get through writer's block or do writing stints?
Yeah, so I just started doing some writer stints with my friend JB Juke and some of his people. But I have a friend before all that who, she used to be in the publishing world, but became a stay-at-home mom. So I send her all of my stories, or if I have an idea, and she'll come back with it. She's one of my beta readers, and she actually was demanding to get book 3, even though she said, as she says, she's 1,000 years pregnant. And she was like, girl, give me book 3. I'm going to get through it before I have this kid. And I was like, all right. And she did. But her insights are invaluable to me because she's able to read as a fan and as an editor. So, and she doesn't do the proofreading or anything like that, but, her insights are just invaluable to me, and I am deeply appreciative of her.
I love that. Did publishing or getting ready to publish your first book change how you did things or the writing process for the next books?
Well, like I said, I can't spend a lot of time not writing. So it's definitely pushed me to actually finish a project, which is huge because I'm a gigantic procrastinator, and I'm in the I'll do that later, but it is later because I have, all these books planned and my proofreader already booked, and I don't want to cancel on her because I procrastinated. So it's definitely helped with that. So it's kind of gone against my nature, which is actually really good because I think it's helped me produce some pretty good stuff.
What's your favorite underappreciated novel?
I would have to say, her name is Felicity Elaine, and she wrote Withered Rose. It's actually a Christian mafia story, and it's definitely not as popular as some of the other, mafia stories, but it had me in a chokehold. So I think it's pretty amazing.
What's your opinion on Christian authors? Like, I love DeAnna. She has done historical Christian romance since at least 2009 is when I started reading her. And she made the transition to write more romance style books, but she did it under a pen name, and people found out it was her and like gave her all kinds of hate. What's your opinion on how quickly people can turn?
Oh, yeah, people can be vicious. We want everyone to react or do what we would do, and we forget that we're all humans and we all have our own personalities, and what one person is convicted of, someone else may not be, and there's a reason for that, and that's okay. So we need to, as humans, quit putting everyone in a box, and just, especially fellow Christians, just let God deal with them in that respect. Again, what one person feels led to do, another one may not.
Yeah. And I think it's totally fine to be able to do both. Just because you have a sensual side or write about sensual things doesn't mean that you're not a Christian or have values.
Sure. Right. Or, like in my case, sometimes I do read some of the spicier stuff, but I choose not to write it, and that's just my choice. And so, like I said, I do read everything that I read is romance because I don't like anything else, really. I don't like the techno babble or anything like that. So I definitely need a little bit of, at least an element of romance, just because I will create a ship in my head of anyone that I want to. Like for example, in the TV show Stargate, Jack and Samantha should have gotten together, and I shipped them really hard, even though the show was zero about that, because I just like the element of romance and everything. I don't even know what the original question was.
That's okay. Yeah. I need a little romance too. Like, I can do the dark occasionally, but I like my happy ending or just some kind of hope of love.
Yeah. At least a happy for now.
Yeah. Like, when I get on a ship of something, for instance, like I loved the Vampire Diaries, and I shipped Caroline and Klaus so much. And there was no changing my mind, and there's still no changing my mind.
Right.
There's been so many arguments over that. What does literary success look like to you?
That's a great question, and I can actually answer that from two instances that have happened recently. One, and I go back to my buddy JB. He met me at Indie Lit Con, and he met my husband, and we just had a nice conversation with him, and he was super nice. And so, we connected on TikTok and all that, as you do. And he asked me if it was too late to ARC read Golden Hour. And of course not, by all means. And I expected hey, it's a great story, whatever. But he made a 2-minute video on TikTok about how Golden Hour reminded him of when he fell in love with his wife.
Aww.
And that was really sweet. And my husband and I were watching it, and we were crying during it. It was unexpected. It was something he just kind of did on his own. It was really sweet. And then today, because I have my author copies, I sold some to people at work. And so I went up to my coworker this morning who had gotten the book, and she apparently read it this weekend. And she said, "Girl, your book." And I was like, "Oh no, what?" And she said, "No, I cried like 4 times." And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." She's like, "No, they were good cries." And then her eyes are starting to get watery. So of course mine is. And she said that she just saw herself so much in Bellamy, and that their relationship reminded her of her and her husband's relationship. And she's, getting a little teary. She's having to wipe tears away. She's talking to me and all that. And it was just so sweet. And yes, I want to make it rich and retire, right? But more than that, those personal stories to me are literary success, because that's what I want. I want my stories to touch a part of people's souls that heals something in them, or that just reminds them of something that it just touches them. And that, that's the best example I can give. And that, for me, that is success.
Yeah, I have to agree. The money will come and go, but touching other people's emotions, you'll never get over that feeling.
Right.
About how many hours a day do you write?
Well, when I'm able to write as long as I want, I can, on a work day, maybe 2 or 3. On the weekends, probably, 5-ish with some breaks, depending on how much dilly-dallying and church Paul and I have. But some of those days I have to spend in Canva, of course, marketing and all that. So in a day, between 1 to 3 on a work day, I would say.
That's a pretty good amount after you work all day.
Yeah. Like I said, my youngest is now, she'll be 19 in July, and she's got a boyfriend and friends and her own car, and she's graduated high school. She did that last year, so it kind of freed up a lot of my time.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. My one and only is a sophomore this year, so.
Yeah, it's difficult. I definitely had a little bit of growing pains and empty nest syndrome. But what's funny is when Mallory, my daughter, started high school, my mom had told my husband and I that we needed to find something that was just something that he and I did, so that we became he and I again, and not he and I and the kids. Mm-hmm. And I keep telling him, I was like, did you know that the thing that we were going to do was go to book events for your wife's books? But he's a good sport. He loves it.
My husband is a blue collar man. He is a rig supervisor or superintendent over plug-in rigs. And he's like, listen, I don't want to ruin your good time because that's not my cup of tea, but you and your girls go do it, and I fully support you. Yeah. I will watch every TikTok you make, but don't make me go.
Yeah, so my husband, he's not a reader. He doesn't like to read or anything like that. So I'll be honest, he's not read my books, but he knows about all my characters and he can hype it up. So he'll be at a lot of my signings and everything, just hyping me up and talking to people about my books. He'll be my second person, so that if I have to go to the bathroom or whatever, he can still sell my books and know about them and everything. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Josh was going to come to Indie LitCon, but he had to work, so, cause that was my first event, and, but he had to work, so me and the girls came.
Yeah, I made my husband come with me. As you know, I introduced him as the guy who put me on a budget.
It's definitely needed at these things.
Oh man, I know. I was like, I'm probably not going to bring any money home from all the other events that I do, because I'll be buying other people's books.
I know. I guess the good thing is if you're there selling books, you don't get a lot of time to walk around and look at other people's stuff, but.
Listen, I'd be more than happy to tell my husband to hang around while I go look.
It is a lot of fun. I had no clue that there was going to be that many vendors there.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
it was amazing.
amazing. Yeah, and it was their first year. So I'm really excited to have been on the side of an attendee like I was this year, and then as an author next year. That's kind of going to be like a unique experience, I think. I'm really excited. And Keith and DeAnna did an amazing job putting it together for their first year. I can only imagine how much better it's going to be next year.
Right? It was so organized, I feel like, and I'm so proud of them. They
Yeah,
did
and
such a
that was
good job.
my first time meeting them. So that was really cool.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I see Keith on live, and I'll go talk to
Yeah.
him and Alexandra, or they'll come in my lives and we'll talk or whatever. But that was my first time meeting them face to face, and it was just so nice to actually get to see them in person.
Yeah, real genuine people, and I'm just so excited for April of next year.
Oh, me
And
too.
the Rose Lit Con, Rose Romance, that's going to be good. A lot of the same people for that as well. Are you going to that one?
Where's it at?
It's in Indy. It's in October.
Oh, yes, they're doing it right.
Yeah, the plots and prologues and pages is putting it on with Rose Romance Bookstore.
Yes. I don't know because it's band competition time for my
Oh,
kiddo.
yeah.
And sometimes Josh has to work 7 days a week. So
Sure.
if possible, I will be there
Yeah, awesome.
because it's a lot of fun, and they're so nice.
Yes, they really are. And that's where I made a lot of my connections. That's how I met, JB, and I met Ines Thorngrave there, and Mary, who's doing my launch on Wednesday at 8:00. Everyone needs to go to Faded Pages on TikTok. And just all the other, that's just where I met a lot of my connections, and then other connections have come from that.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how much goes into a book event like this, but how many connections you make as
Yes.
well.
Denise was another one that I met, and she was like, well, when I saw you, you were just so bubbly and everything. I was like, well, I was just really excited. But yeah, I didn't even realize when I first went there, just all the connections I was going to make and everything. But everyone was so kind. And when they found out that I was putting out my first book, they were like, ask me if you have any questions or whatever. They've just been so incredible.
Yeah, and they truly mean it. It's not like one of those things where they just say it to be nice in that time. Like, you could actually reach out to them and they would actually try to help in the best way that they could.
Yes, absolutely. And I have, and some of them have been really kind to help with that, with me. And even, I will say, and it's not just the United States indie publishing either. Natalie Starkos, I reached out to her a year ago because I fell in love with her book. And so I just kind of fangirled with her. And then when I started to write mine, I was just like, I want to share this with another author. And she was so excited. And she actually got me my connections with my proofreader and my cover artist. But then I was having some problems with my cover, and my cover artist wasn't able to get to it right away. And Natalie was all the way in Australia. That's where she's from. And she was like, let me try and help you. Anyway, we got it worked out. Everything's fine. My cover artist was able to get to it. But it was just really amazing how nice she was, and she definitely didn't have to be. She's 12 hours, 14 hours different from me, and was at midnight trying to work on something. And, that really blew me away as well. So it's not just the United States connections. It's not just the United States indie community. It is as a whole, worldwide, that I have noticed that everyone is just willing to help however we can.
Yeah. I love the book talk, well, the whole book community, really. Like, I haven't really met anybody that's just downright someone that I couldn't relate to or
Right.
talk to about things.
Right. Absolutely.
About how long does it take you to write a book?
Well, because these are novellas, it's not taking me as long as what some people are. So a couple of months, because I have them running in my head as I'm writing something else. So like right now I'm in to editing book 3, but book 4 is like 4 or 5 chapters in. So it's taken me longer for these other books than the first one, just because the first one was the only one I had to focus on. But now, when I'm writing book 2, I'm also promoting book 1 and going through all that. So the other books haven't had my, complete attention, but they've had enough. They're all right. A couple of months, I would say, because like I said, they're novellas, and they're not as deep as some of the other ones that people do, and I'm able to focus on it again because my kids are grown and all that, and my husband and I have been married, almost 20 years now, and we're able to not have to be in the same room with each other. Which is nice. That's why we have Saturdays.
Yeah. What was your favorite childhood book? Or the book that started your love for reading?
Yeah, I have loved reading ever since I was a kid. I absorb books. Like I said, The Outsiders, but that was in middle school. The Secret Garden, because the author, her last name is Hahn, and H-A-H-N, and that was my maiden name. So I really loved that. Number the Stars. I can't believe I didn't even think of that. That one really, I remember feeling very emotional with that one.
That sounds familiar, but I can't.
Yeah, it's it was set during the Holocaust.
Oh.
But yeah, that one, I don't remember everything about it, but I remember the feeling of loving it and just being emotionally wrapped up in it.
Yeah. I think the Chronicles of Narnia is what really set it in stone. And the Little House on the Prairie books. We would read those all the time. Or my mom would read us, like, the Berenstain Bears when we were young. And that was always our favorite time.
Yes. Or Where the Sidewalk Ends.
Oh, yeah.
The poems, but we really liked those.
And then when Harry Potter came out, like, the movies, we were the same age as the characters. So, like, we absolutely ate that up.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I'm still a Harry Potter fanatic. I have a whole scene about Harry Potter in book 1 and a little bit in book 2. On my 45th birthday in January, my daughter and I went to New York to go see Tom Felton play Draco again. And it was amazing. I got his signature. He wished me happy birthday. He signed me a birthday card. It was a dream come true.
I bet. I love Tom Felton.
Yeah, so love me some Harry Potter.
My friend went in, I think it was November.
Oh, nice.
She went and saw it, yeah. She said it was magical. I was like, I bet.
It was. Listen, we called it was on my birthday, and I still called it Tom Felton Day. That's the day we set aside to go to the Harry Potter store, and I told my daughter, I was like, don't be in a hurry. Do not be in a hurry. And it was our last day there. It was amazing. So yeah, bought way too much stuff. She actually got mad because I'm a Gryffindor with the heavy side of Slytherin. she's so Slytherin, it's not funny. And I was buying stuff for me that was Slytherin because it's Tom Felton and all that. And she said, Mom, buy stuff from your own house, not mine. I was like, girl. So I ended up buying a mix of both, but.
I feel like I'm a Gryffindor Hufflepuff mix.
Yeah, but I can feel that.
All right. Why don't you do another plug for your amazing book that's coming out July 1st?
Yeah, it comes out July 1st on the Zon, on paperback, which is $12, or the ebook, which is $2.99. And it's a palate cleanser, or not if you don't need one. It's just a really great, feel-good, happily ever after, closed door, small town romance. It's the first of a 5-book series that are interconnected. Bellamy is just a sweet girl. She names her inanimate objects like her car and a pumpkin that she gets with him. And then Edison, he's just, it opens up with him loving on his niece and nephew, and it's really adorable. And then he's got a brother-in-law named Graham, and he is the shenanigator. Graham becomes a favorite. And I do want to say that it's important, just like in a Marvel movie where you will stay to the end, it's important to read my books all the way to the end, because every book, at least in this series, will have bonus content at the end. So I definitely advise you to read from cover to cover, especially if you're on KU, so I get those page points. But the bonus content's fun. It's different for every book, but it's just fun little bonus content.
Yeah. I love the bonus stuff, though.
Yeah. So there's an epilogue, and then there's some other stuff, and then there's the bonus content.
Can people get signed copies from you online anywhere?
Not yet. Only because I don't have enough stock for that yet. I am trying to build up my stock, but I do have those signings coming up. So I will be happy for anyone who wants, like something signed from me. I do have like these little thank you postcards. I can get some of those, sign it, and send it to people. That would be okay. But right now, unfortunately, I just don't have the stock for it.
Well, that makes sense. It debuts Wednesday, so.
Yeah, I have, and then I have all the signings in July, because I have one, of course, on the 3rd with Main Book Hook. And then the 11th, I've got one, it's called From the Ground Up. That one's in LaGrange. And then they have a second store in Shepherdsville. I'm doing theirs the weekend after that, so that's the 18th. And then on the 25th, Main Book Hook is having a festival, and so I'll be doing some signings there. So depending on stock after that and everything, will depend on if I can send out any more signed copies.
End of the summer festival. Where will that be?
Yeah, that's in Shepherdsville at Main Book Hook. I think it's 142 Buffalo Run Road. It's all over their website and mine. It's on, we've both posted it up on the Facebook and everything. So, yeah, that's fun. It'll have vendors and then authors. We went there last year, and then this year I get to be an author for it. It's a lot of fun.
Did you do your own website, or did you?
So my website is through BookBub, excuse me. And they're really user friendly, because I do not do websites at all. And I was really scared, but I was like, I have to have one. And so I found them, and they're reasonably priced and really stupidly user friendly, which is absolutely what I need. So I did they have templates and all that. So I did use them, but then of course all the content and everything is mine.
Well, I love it. It looks so clean and everything's easy to find. It's a really well done website.
That's what I like to hear.
Anything else you want to tell people before we have to get off of here?
I just want to say that, I've been wanting to be a writer since I could read. And it's taken me until I was 45 to do it. And I feel like that's okay because I probably wouldn't have been ready to do it 10 years ago or had the time to do what I needed to do it. And so I just want to point out that it's not too late to do your dreams and to pursue those and to achieve your dreams. Dreams are not just for children. They're for us adults too. And again, it's not too late to do what you want to do. And, if you're in the indie world, you can do it at your own pace. So while I'm publishing quite a few books, if it takes you a year to get one done, that's totally okay. Do it at your pace. You don't have to match anyone or beat anyone or anything like that. It's all you, and just achieve your dreams. It's not too late, and take it at the pace that is right for you.
I love that. I think we all need to remember, you're never too old to have dreams or chase your dreams. So I love that. Well, it was super nice to have you on. You guys make sure to check out TikTok on Wednesday for her book release.
Yes, with beta pages, 8:00.
Eastern, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll have a link once I post this podcast and to her TikTok, so you guys go follow her. Give her all the love. And it was so nice to talk to you again. I'm sure I will see you around.
Yes. Thank you so much. This was fun. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye. Thank you.
Yep.